Hello, everybody, beautiful people. I don't know, I was trying to say three things at the same time. Welcome to my kitchen. Hello, Elser. It's good to see you. Thank you guys for being here this Thursday evening. I've had a pretty chill day. How about you guys? Hello, Fajita Phantom. Boy, I can tell words already. You know, I don't know how long I can say, ooh, today's a bad day for words. Words are hard when I do it almost every day. So it's Friday.
Elser always bragging about Friday.
Yep. Happy Friday Eve. That's what it is for us. Fridays are actually Thursday nights are kind of my Friday Eve. I take Fridays off, but I have to work on Saturdays. So words are definitely hard today. It's a good thing I didn't work today, but it's a bad thing that I'm streaming when words are hard. So there is that. You know, it's been kind of cold here in Texas, except the last couple of days it's been in the 70s. Is it supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow too?
79.
79. But we're going to make soup anyway. We're going to pretend that it's chilly outside. We're going to do an Italian wedding soup, and we're going to make our own little meatballs for it. And something that totally doesn't go with it at all, we're going to do a potato cake that's got some porchetta and some onions in it. So never made either of these before. Me again, cooking for you and having no idea exactly what I'm doing. So, but that's what we are doing today. How are you guys? How are you, Elser? How are you, Fajita Phantom? How's life going? Robbie, how's life going for you?
I'm excited that it's almost Friday.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to try the Italian
wedding soup. Yes, Robbie was calling it the Italian wedding cake soup earlier, and I'm like, that doesn't even sound good. It sounds a little bit like the macaroni and cheese milkshake.
Yeah, no. I don't need that again.
But you had chaos today, but you're taking tomorrow off. Well, that's good. It's tough. It's tough. Oh, well, that's good. You had your booster and you feel good. I need to still do that because I know that I will probably be down for a couple of days. So that either means missing streams or missing work that's actual income or both. So it's like, how do you fit that in there? But I need to do that in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, it was a good day for me today, although my trainer really worked my butt off. So nothing else exciting today except for that until here. Woohoo! Here we
Got
are.
your heart set up?
I do. I got my heart set up. So for February, and I was a little behind, obviously, since it's the 10th, which means that I'm almost halfway through the month. When you sub, you get on one of these little conversation hearts and names, and we'll put them on the refrigerator. And then I've got bigger hearts because we're going to be doing a charity stream on, not this Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sunday, but the Sunday after that. And we're going to be doing burgers, Gouda stuffed burgers, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we're going to do a charity stream, and I have the bigger hearts that I had last time for them. We're going to do those and put those on the fridge too. But here's the weird thing about my fridge. This side, magnetic. Oops, this side, not magnetic. So we're thinking this is attaching to maybe the ice maker or something behind it, because that's kind of weird, isn't it?
I blame Zool.
You blame Zool? It's
Yeah.
probably Zool's fault. Yeah, so that's what we got going on. That's what we're doing. And yeah, and it's Super Bowl Sunday. Elser, do you watch any American football over there in Australia? Because I'm excited about what I'm doing on Sunday. On Sunday, we're going to do Nashville chicken sliders, and we're going to be doing some Cuban pork sliders, so like some Cuban sandwich sliders, and then we're going to be doing chili and making Frito pie. So, woo! No, Well, you can still enjoy the food, but we're going to go on early on Sunday. We're going to go on around noon on Sunday. So that's the plan. So the first thing I want to do today is make a potato cake. The potato cake. Have you guys ever had a potato cake?
I don't think I have. Is it like
No.
cake?
It's not like cake, I'm sorry. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can build it in a pan and have it start by cooking on the stove and then put it in the oven. Although some people cook it almost exclusively on the stove and you turn it out onto a plate. I have had only marginal luck doing it that way. So I'm gonna do it this way this time. I have done it this way, not this particular recipe, but doing it in a springform pan. So we'll see how that goes. It's on one channel here, and you've seen it in the past. Okay. I mean, honestly, I gotta say that watching football nowadays, there's so many rules, like it's like, I don't know. I know we're trying to protect people, but at the same time, I wanna see a game and not lots of people getting in trouble. So, hello, Pops, how are you? We just got on. We just started. So, yeah, 10 minutes we've been on. We're making Italian wedding soup today and a potato cake with some porchetta. And so that is what I'm gonna start with, is actually the potato cake, because that's gotta go in the oven and cook. So we don't that. You don't watch Australian footballs anymore. Is it the same thing? Has it been happening in other sports, like in other countries, where it's just like more equipment, more rules, more things you can't do? Yeah, so it's not like a sweet cake, it's a savory thing, and we're just gonna kind of layer them. And I've done it in a springform pan before. I've also tried it on the stove in like a pan. Words are hard. I'm not very good at turning it out and having it stay together when it's on there, so we're gonna do it in the springform pan today. Oh, Italian wedding soup? Maybe. So you don't like Italian wedding soup? What do you not like? It's got like pasta and meatballs and veggies in it. We're gonna make our own little bitty tiny meatballs. It's gonna be fun. See? You're tougher than Americans who have to wear football pads and more
Elsa
football
already
pads.
knew that.
I am sure you did. A lack of appeal. I actually like Italian wedding soup. I haven't made it, and if I've made it, it's been a very long time, and I don't recall making meatballs for it. But I used to get it when I would go out to certain Italian restaurants and just do that with a salad. So, hello, Kelsey, how are you? Yes, Australians do play rugby like real athletes. We're overprotective of our athletes here in the United States. Okay, Kelsey, I wanted to show you. Ugh. So for February, we're doing these little magnets. Oops, over here. I keep showing just your two. I have other people up here. I know Alpha Pest was last time. There's Alpha Pest. And they're like little conversation hearts. I still need to paint some purple ones and some orange ones. But that's what we're doing this month for subs. So, you got to get your COVID booster. Elser just got their booster. Says they feel good. I know, but aren't you supposed to be pain? Like rugby hurts a lot, but you know, isn't that what sports are supposed to be about? No pain, no gain. So, all right. So potato cake. So basically, when you see potato cake, it's layers of potato. It usually just has some butter and some herbs and stuff in it. We're going to be adding onions, and we're going to be adding some porchetta. And porchetta is like a pork loin. It's an Italian way of cooking a pork loin, and they put stuff in the middle of it and roll it up. I'm not sure exactly what's in this porchetta, but traditionally you put things like liver and spices and herbs and things like that in it and roll it up, and then you smoke it for a long time, and then you slice it up. But we're gonna cut it up into little pieces and put it in our potato cake. and it'll add a little bit more flavor to it. Robbie, of course, has a cocktail for us as well, and we'll get on that in a little bit. I'm gonna hydrate a little bit more before we start doing cocktails. So I am not following this recipe exactly. I'm just kind of using it for like ratios, because first of all, it's asking for, I think, ham in here. And then the second thing is, it's got things on the ingredient list that it doesn't tell you what to do with, which drives me up a wall. So, yes, so we're doing the cocktail we'll be doing, hi Brittany. The cocktail we'll be doing a little bit later is a little lower in alcohol, because during the week we're trying to do less alcohol for us. So, yeah, it's got the Prosecco in it. It's gonna be good, I think. All right.
And if it's not, we'll make something else.
That is true. That is true. But I happen to like bubbles, so that's a good thing.
I think it sounds good.
All right, so first we need 4 to 5 potatoes. I've got my potatoes, and I'm going to use I think I'm gonna use this today. I was gonna use the mandolin, but I think I'm gonna use this. But we need to peel them first. And we need to put some parchment paper in there, but we're gonna slice our potatoes and put them in here and toss them with some salt. And this has garlic, I think garlic powder in it instead of regular garlic, so I'll probably just chop up some regular garlic to put in there too. I love elderflower. I really do like that flavor, and I'm not typically like a lot of drinks that have lavender or rose in them. They get just a little overpowering floral-wise for me, and I love lavender. Like, it's in my bath soap and my soap and sachets. Hand lotion. I love it, but in my drinks, the ratio better be right. I don't want to be tasting flowers in my drink. So, but elderflower is one that I love. That's the exception to the rule, to my rule. Exception to Dana's drinking rule. So, hopefully it's a nice refreshing drink. And we'll just peel potatoes. Yeah, I don't think it's really, the same thing goes with rose as well. If it's done right in a drink or a dessert, because I've had like lavender lemon cupcakes, you don't taste the lavender, you smell it. And since part of how we eat is with our sense of smell, I want to say, do they say it's like 20% or 30% of your experience in eating something, right? Because what happens when you have a cold, you can't smell your food, it doesn't taste as good. So, lavender mint cold brew, your favorite coffee. Now that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever had, I know that you can taste floral scents in some coffee, but I don't know that I've ever seen a lavender mint one. That sounds more like a tea than a coffee to me. And on the coffee side, I'm more of I like the earthy flavors and the chocolatey flavors and not like mocha, although I do like mocha, but less of the floral hints and more of the others. But yeah, that sounds interesting. So you just gotta be careful, I think. And it's a preference. There's very little I don't like at all. Lima beans. They soak the herbs with coffee. Huh, interesting. Well, the Bravewood Beanery gets in here. She was talking about a month and a half ago, maybe, and she was talking about how different regions of the world have different kind of flavor profiles for their coffee, how they're going to taste a little bit differently, which I found fascinating. I don't remember any of it, but now I know it happens, so I can look it up. because I didn't take notes. I'm one of those people that if I don't take notes, it's hard for me to remember stuff. And the funny thing is I might take pages and pages and pages of notes in a lecture or at a workshop or whatever, and I almost never look at them again. It's the act of writing it down that helps me remember it. So did you find that like that lavender mint brew, was that at a place that you went to? Like a coffee house or... Because that just seems like an interesting combination. You're the same, Kelsey? That's why you and I go through so much paper. Robbie will test that there are just pieces of paper all over the house as I write notes about something I want to remember.
It's not like I can't talk. I mean, I've got,
You look at it again, though. My to-do list. My to-do list, I may look at it again, but other than my to-do list, I rarely look at anything else again. So, you were in San Diego? Oh, okay. Kryptonite. Interesting. Lectures are useless for you? I like listening to people talk about stuff if they're passionate about it. But if you're going to read the freaking PowerPoint to me, just go home. I can read. Nothing annoys me more. It tells me you don't know your stuff because you're reading it right off of the PowerPoint. Just hand me the PowerPoint and go home. San Diego. I haven't been to San Diego in quite a while. So Robbie and I are planning on doing a road trip. Did I tell you guys this before? We're planning on doing a road trip in July for a couple of weeks. We have to go to a family reunion in Nebraska. And we thought while we're that far north in the middle of the country, we'd go do some other stuff. And what did we decide on? Wyoming?
South Dakota.
South Dakota, Wyoming.
Wyoming. Probably Colorado on the way back.
Yep. So we'll take ideas. We plan on hitting Yellowstone. And, okay, I think this is the slicer. We haven't even used it yet.
Are you going to be disappointed when it's not like the show?
When Yellowstone's not, no, I'll be happy that it's not like the show. I mean, if I really thought Wyoming was, or Yellowstone was like that, I would not go. So, Colorado is, it depends on the lecturer, Pops, for me. If they enjoy what they're doing, then, and they're passionate about it, and it's interesting, I can listen, but a lot of times I'm like, yeah, I got to get up and walk around and wake myself up. So I've never been to Yellowstone. I'm so excited to go. And Robbie and I have been to Colorado. We went to a wedding there a few years back before COVID. And we stayed, oh my, this is a juicy potato. And on a campground. It was actually kind of funny because they just had cows wandering on this campground like randomly and mooing, because I guess that's what cows do.
They do moo a lot.
So that was fun. You've been to Yellowstone a couple of times? When were you in Yellowstone? Was that a road trip with your dad? Okay. All right, so look at this. I can't put it in there yet. See how it's all fun? We're going to play today, so I'm making this up as I go along. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that 2-week science camp. How could I forget that? You were gone for 2 weeks. Maybe I enjoyed it too much. I do remember that now. Oops, I lost some potatoes on the
Floor
ground.
potatoes.
Floor potatoes.
The box has been checked.
You gotta throw some food on the floor in Dana's kitchen or it's not really a stream. This is gonna be a lot of potatoes. Did you know that, Robbie?
It's looking that way.
There we go. And it's making a mess of my counter. Like, what could you do? What could you do with that potato? Can make it like a mushroom, look like a mushroom on there. Yeah, so I'm excited about that because those are going to check off. So if you weren't around last time, and I know like Pops, you weren't around, but Robbie and I did a 2-week road trip, and we drove from here through Nashville. That was our first stop, right? Nashville? I think it was
Yes.
Nashville, and then we went to the Outer Banks. We went up to Maine. We went to Niagara Falls. Robbie kept calling it Buffalo. I said Niagara Falls is different.
We drove through Buffalo, so technically that's correct.
We drove through Buffalo. We can stay in Buffalo. And then Louisville, Memphis, and I was going somewhere with that story. And then I distracted myself. What was I going to tell you about that story? Anyways, so it was a fun road trip. So we streamed on the road trip, and we did not eat at any chain restaurants, and we took advice. It was fun. It'd be the fun potatoes are the world's most wasteful French fry. Yes. So I was going somewhere with that story. Do you have any idea what it was?
Just that Chet helped us out and suggested places
Yep.
along the way,
And it was a fun trip.
and streamed from a couple of them.
So that was, so we're going to do that again. But I had another point, and it'll come to me 2 minutes after we're off the air. I'm positive of that. All right, you know what? That is a lot of potatoes. I don't know that I'm going to need more than that, but I've already got one peeled, so we're going to do it. You still want to see? Oh, I know what I was going to go with that. When you're on the, oh yeah, it's been hard. So when we went on this road trip, I did not visit any new states for me because I've been to almost everything up east. Robbie went to 12 or 13 new states.
Something like that.
And one new country. Stepped a foot into Canada.
Because we could not
Go
actually
into
go
Canada, but we got on the bridge so that he could step a foot into Canada. So this time it's my turn to go some places that Robbie's been to almost all of them, right? You haven't been to Idaho? Is that the one?
No, I've been to all of them.
Oh, you've been to all of them. Okay. Well, never mind. I keep throwing potatoes on the floor, which is not good. But Maine was beautiful. We didn't get very far in Maine. I'd like to go back. They have this really cool restaurant in Maine. And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But she does a dinner, you get what you get, whatever she's making. But she makes things that are like, you have to have a reservation. And the only way to make a reservation is to send her a postcard. You cannot call and make a reservation. You cannot email and make a reservation. You have to send a postcard, and then they will tell you if you got a reservation and when it is. And if you're coming from out of town, you hope that it's while you're there. Which I think is kind of a interesting way to do it. But the food there is supposed to be amazing. And I think they serve dinner like just by candlelight. So it's kind of very old school, like old school. And I really want to do that. But that was nowhere near where we were. And I don't think she's been open since COVID restrictions anyway, so. And we were hoping to be there when the colors were really pretty, but they only just started turning when we were there.
Yeah, we really had to look hard to find some color.
Yeah.
So we actually changed our route a little bit just to go through some more mountains to find some.
Yeah, so when we were driving through like New Hampshire and so, did we drive through Vermont? I can't remember. Vermont and New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we saw the most color, was driving through there on the way through New York.
So one of the things we want to do with this potato cake is we want to make sure that we are covering this with parchment paper. It makes your life so much easier. Don't skip it. The chef gets to do whatever he wants. Yeah. See, I think that's kind of fun, but you better be an adventurous person if you're doing those things.
Not real picky about your food.
Yes. So if Rachel's in here, this would not be a good one for Rachel, Robbie's sister.
Unless it's someone well known for always just making some sort of cheese dish.
But like Kelsey would be fun to take to that because Kelsey eats almost anything. Do. So if you're ever doing anything in a spring form pan, most of the time it's best to put some parchment paper in there. Unless you plan on serving it on the little metal thing on the bottom. Which I have done because I've forgotten to put the parchment paper in there and it was sticking. Ergo, Dana's helpful hint of the day. Whew. Okay. Do I need to line the sides? No, because when the sides get a little bit larger, I've never really had a problem with the sides. Sometimes I will just spray the sides down with like a non-stick spray, but this is really, it's a non-stick pan. I probably would not have problems with the potato cake pulling this over onto something, but I have with like pie crust and things like that on occasion, so it's good to do. And if you're doing anything liquid, you probably do want it to go up the sides a little bit to help protect from leaking out of the bottom. So, but I love those places that are the chef gets to decide. Okay, I am going to, for this, I had garlic over here. Here it is. I think I should use garlic powder. I might need to use garlic powder just because to get it evenly in here. I also need to slice up an onion. So let's do that. Because we're gonna need to put this in here. So the other thing, like I did it like this, but you can take these, I think. Let's see if I'm right about this. Robbie's writing something down. We were saying you would not want to go on one of those chef things where the chef gets to make you whatever he wants. You don't get a say in it.
Your ears were burning, huh?
So if you do that, then all of a sudden you've got some nice sliced potatoes to put in the pan. Did you see that? Omakase soup. Okay, so that's very interesting because did you send me the email? I mean, I just got an email literally this morning from a place in town that was doing omakase sushi for Valentine's Day. So weird. I've never gotten an email about that before. So I'm on to you. You're sending me emails and then coming in here and talking to me about it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just do the garlic powder, I think. I prefer the flavor of regular garlic, but for this, we're gonna do this. Let's see, how much did it tell me to put in here? And we're gonna do some Italian herbs. So this is the easy way to do it. Buy yourself a bottle of Italian herbs. But here's the interesting thing. One of the things on this is melted butter. You know what one thing they don't have in the, tell me what to do with? The butter. They don't tell me what to do with it. Whoops. So do I toss it with the potatoes? Do I pour it over the top once I've got it in there? What do you think? From a MILS. Hi, Grey Dusk. How are you doing? Welcome in. How are things going for you? All right. This says, Oh, and I need salt. Of course I need salt. Ooh, okay. We're just making up a potato cake here. And that one didn't get some. And then we're gonna slice some onions and cube some of that porchetta and get that in here. All right. I was trying to debate between the porchetta and the guanciale that I bought today. But I think the guanciale is gonna be a little too fatty for this. So I wanted to use the ham instead. So we've got the ham, we've got that. And this knife will drive me crazy. Okay. Well, thank you, Juan, for resubscribing. Guess what? You get your name on a heart. I'm gonna put your name on a heart up here on the refrigerator, but I'm gonna do that in a minute if you're okay with that, so that I can get this stuff going over here. This would have been a lot easier if I'd done it this way. How are you doing? What's up?
Hope you're having a good week.
This is my Friday. Until Friday, and then that will be my Sunday. And then I got to work on Saturday. So, hello.
It smells good in here.
I haven't even really started doing anything yet.
But it still smells good.
My youngest is here. Wanted more dinner. More dinner.
Hi. I'm gonna go on a walk, so I'm probably not gonna be here for too much longer.
Okay.
Did
Don't
you
worry.
wanna show off the
Dinner
heart?
dinner is like an hour and a half away, so we're good.
Did you want to show a heart on the camera again?
Oh yeah. So
You keep grabbing the same one.
I know. Okay, here. I'll do this one because Rachel's in here. Okay. So when you subscribe, Dana's gonna get it right. We're gonna put your name on one of these little magnet conversation hearts, and then they're gonna go on the refrigerator. So, Juan, I'm gonna have to write teeny tiny to write Dream It Collectibles on there when I get a second. So, Robbie is too fast.
Because I got the command in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's sitting right by the computer. I mean, until he starts cooking.
No, that's not happening today.
You might be safe if Kelsey goes and gets her booster shot and leaves. I could just put Juan. Okay, I might do that. Maybe dream Juan. Okay. What did I do with my, oh there. Okay. And then I'm gonna need to get some butter out and melt it, and I guess I'm gonna pour that over the top of this, or pour it over parts as I layer up my potato cake. And yes, it's kind of a weird menu tonight because it's not like really this potato cake. I got the porchetta to make it seem like I'm doing something Italian here along with my Italian soup. All right, so like I was telling everybody earlier, the porchetta is like it's an Italian pork loin, and it's opened up, and then it has stuff like spices and stuff on the inside. Now, if you're getting it in Italy, you're probably gonna get some sort of liver in the middle. It doesn't look like it for here. This one just looks like it's spices and everything, but it gets lots of flavor. So we're gonna cube some of this. And this will give some nice fat and flavor to the dish as well. Yum. It's kind of like bacon, you know?
It smells really good.
It's already been smoked. So, yeah. It's a smoked product. And we'll have to decide how much we want of this in here. And the trick is, because I know that the porchetta already has salt in it, I don't want to oversalt the potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
Is the right answer all of it?
You want all of it in there? I think that might be a little too, maybe. I mean, it's a half a pound of porchetta that I got today. And the line at the deli wasn't really long, which was great. I was the only person.
Well, everyone stocked up last week for the Snowmageddon, so they probably still have 2 months of food.
It was
to work
empty.
with.
It was empty at the grocery store. It was crazy. Usually I go during the week and it's just busy, and it just hasn't been. So what, did you guys, those of you that got snow, do you still have a lot of food left over from stocking up on it? I'm gonna look at this. I really think 1/4 pound of this is enough. I don't think we need.
Okay.
We'll put that in something else later. How's that? All right, now I'm gonna start building this in here. Actually, I'm gonna do Dream Wands magnet first. So here it is on the, oh, you don't have that up, so I'll just do it right here.
I'll switch it so you can show it.
Okay, and how many months is that? 5, awesome. All right, and there we go, there's your little conversation heart. Wait, where am I? There we are. Meat is an accent, yeah. Because that's the other thing too is, well, like on Monday I did eggplant parmesan. So trying to cut down on the amount of alcohol, trying to cut down on the amount of meat that we're eating, but still make enough food to make sure that Robbie feels like he's eaten. That's the trick.
It's always good when you're done with your meal to feel like you've eaten.
Yes. All right, let's see here. I should have cut all of these before I put them in there. Live and learn. So here's what I'm gonna do. And now we're gonna put these around and kind of overlap them a little bit as we go with some of the onions. And actually, let's see, let's overlap just a little bit as we go. I do want to try though, I saw this one cool thing with the twisted potatoes using the spiralizer, and they just kind of dumped them in a pan, kind of, and then they get crispy on the top. And I think I was half thinking that and half thinking this today. So I'll just pretend I know what I'm doing. How's that? Is that
How
good?
is that different from any other stream, Dana?
Sure somebody doesn't want to see Robbie cook right now?
Nope.
Kelsey, where are you when I need you?
She's too busy getting the booster. It's safe for me to talk trash.
I mean, I could go over to my computer and redeem bits of my channel.
I wonder if you can even do that.
I don't know. Maybe not. But it's definitely not healthy food. You know, I once met this guy, not anybody I dated, it was somebody that that Kelsey's dad worked with, and he was a vegetarian, and he had to be the most unhealthy vegetarian I've ever met. I said, "Are you really a vegetarian? Because I see no vegetables in your diet. I see you not eating meat, but I see sugar, flour, coffee, creamer, milk, ice cream." And he's like, "I'm not a very good vegetarian." So you can't share in your own channel. Bummer. Oh well. Worth a thought. Worth a thought. Worth a try. Robbie just wanted to make sure because he's like, oh, that's going to be a problem for me if Dana can do that. Like, I want to sit down. Here, Robbie. Oh, Rocky. Running around.
At least it's outside.
The neighbors don't think that, though.
No. We don't let him do this on non-stream days. We go out and get him.
Most of the time.
Especially if it's early or late.
Oh yeah, I bring him in if he's barking in the morning. I bring him in right away, unless I need you to get up.
Oh, that explains it.
I know, it's so funny. Yeah, you can be a vegetarian and not be healthy. So hello, Aladdin's girl. How are you doing? You're cleaning your day. Oh, yes. I've been there, done that. It's like they're like, I'm going to show you I can't clean so that I don't have to clean anymore. That never worked for my kids, by the way. I'd be like, yeah, you're going to have to do that again. I had to do that with showers too. Does anybody else have like had middle schoolers where you're like, can you please shower properly and use deodorant? Because it's a problem. All right, let's see here. If I cut these, then I don't have to tear them. You work with adults who can't do that? Yeah. It's a problem. Here's the thing I don't understand. I saw this the other day on one of my friends. The meme was, it says, children, because I teach people, I'm like, if you model stuff, that's how children learn. And she was like, false. My children see me clean and they do not clean. And I was like, I mean, okay, you're right. A personal shower supervisor, that doesn't sound very fun. So where does one become a personal shower supervisor? Is that like jail or a dorm? Not much different in the way things smell or how clean they are. A swimming pool? Oh, in the on submarines. Oh. Oh, so she has to do chores in her day treatment as well. Hopefully she'll learn then. It took a while for my kids to start doing some of the things I tried to teach them. There were a couple things that were really weird to me in that, like, if I took a plate of food up to my room growing up, I was in trouble and I'd say no food upstairs, and still yet food went upstairs. Or there are 10,000 glasses upstairs, or there's a pizza underneath the cushions. That really happened. It really happened. Pizza underneath a couch cushion upstairs in their little area. Or a watermelon in the closet. And I can laugh about it now because we're done doing that, but it wasn't fun at the time. It's a good thing neither of my kids are in the military. Wouldn't be good. So you're not on a submarine. Are you on a submarine now? Like, how does that work? Because you're in here, and I appreciate that. I'm just curious.
Years ago.
I can tell you one of my fun things. I mean, ice cream for me is a huge motivator to get things done.
For me too.
And for Robbie, it's even more so. Because I'm always interested in that. I am adopted, and when I met my birth mom, I was in my 30s, and one of her youngest son was stationed, I want to say in Afghanistan. I'm pretty sure it was Afghanistan. And on the AIM, on AOL, Instant Messenger, I got a message one day, and I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you in Iraq? Yep. But I'm in charge of the computer, so I can go on and instant message people whenever I want to. So that's always interesting to me, on how they can do that. Because that was not the case when my dad was in the military, when my dad was in the Navy.
Well, is the internet even a thing?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a very different world. You wanted to have contact with family or anybody, you had to wait till you might have time on a phone. Or my mom actually followed my dad around in over. Hey. Yeah, that probably needs to be put in the refrigerator because he may try to get the, it's pork. That's what he wants. He wants some pork. Don't worry, I'm almost done with potatoes, and then we can start making some meatballs. Hey, can you do me a big favor? Can you get some butter out and get it in the microwave to melt? Or are you busy sitting there?
That depends on Rocky over here.
He's fine.
He is until he isn't.
I agree. You get email rarely. You send letters. Yep, letters. That's true.
How much butter?
It says 3 tablespoons, which doesn't really sound like enough. 1, 2, 3. So give me 3.5. So I put it in a coffee mug to melt it because then it doesn't splatter as much and it melts a little faster. All right. So that looks pretty good so far, even though it's not even cooked yet. It's going to be better when we add the butter, right? Now, the weirdest thing for me about technology and changing was when my kids went to camp. Because the first couple of years they went to camp, I wrote letters, and I took them with me and had them just space out the letters every day. So I'd say things like, the dogs miss you, I miss you, oh, nothing's really happened today. So I made up just a week's worth of letters for each of them. And then one year they were like, oh, you can email your child every day. And I'm like, no, don't make that an option. Because then they're going to want me to email them every day. So she's doing well in day treatment. That's awesome. I'm so glad that your daughter's doing well in that. It's tough when you got to do that. So, as you know, I am a therapist, and even for me, it's been tough when I've had to make decisions for the kids when they were younger about certain things. But I also know that it can be very, very, very helpful in the long run. So you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So I don't know if you guys aren't following Little Miss Nikki. She's another food and drink streamer. She typically streams in the mornings, although sometimes she streams at nights. She and I are going to be doing something. We're going to talk about doing something on mental health awareness because she's got this mental health initiative coming up. She's supposed to be mentally exhausted, and that means she's working. If she wasn't, she's not working. So one of the things I used to do before I have my private practice is I used to work at a addiction treatment center, and I was the only family therapist. And I did these, what we called these intensives. And I would do one family, and it would be for 5 hours one day and 5 hours the second day. and I let them know before we started. I said, you are going to be exhausted, and you're going to ask yourself, how are you exhausted? All you did was sit all day and talk about stuff. And it requires so much energy to talk about emotions and process emotions and talk about things. So it's good. It's a good thing. Well, that's good. I am all about getting back out there, learning what you want to do, trying new things. I mean, come on, I'm 53 and I'm streaming on Twitch. So, you know, I went back to grad school in my 40s. I went back to grad school at 50. And then I kind of was like, yeah, I'm not going to finish my PhD because now I'm doing this in my private practice and I really enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to pour some butter on here. Don't worry about those chunks. They're going to melt when we put them in the oven. And I think that there is plenty of that porchetta in there that has all that nice fat around it, that we're going to have a nice dish here. I hope. Cross your fingers. We're going to put this into, for not black cloak. Oh, isn't that the best when you're like, oh, yay, no black. Because Kelsey, by the way, went through, she's not in here, but she went through a phase where I'd buy her dark jeans and she'd go, they're not dark enough. I mean, in all fairness, she was like 10, so, you know. But that one day she was like, I think I want color. I was like, oh, my goodness. We're out of that phase where black shirts, black pants, black shoes. And you know, Kelsey's hair is really dark, and she was like, my hair's not dark enough. But we're past all that, so that's good. They're learning Python. I'm not, this is more Robbie's territory, talking about the different, he goes, Okay, I'm putting this in the oven, by the way, guys. 375, we're gonna set a timer for 50 minutes. And we're gonna get started on making some meatballs. And I think my dog is broken. He's frequently broken. And we're gonna turn this over. I'm gonna clean it off first. There's a lot of potato juice over here. Who knew? Hi, bud. How are you? No? Oh, okay. You be you then. Did you see that? He pushed me away. It's getting close to his bedtime. He gets a little riled up. I probably should stream earlier or later instead of like right near his bedtime. I know his underbite is very cute, but please don't let it fool you. He is a velociraptor. A sort of reoffending, oh yeah. I know anything that you have to keep doing over, that you gotta try and figure out, that's all exhausting. Okay, the best part of an Italian wedding soup is meatballs. It's the little tiny meatballs in it, okay? So we need to start for our meatballs. We obviously need meat. And so I just happen to have, I'm like, yay, I get to clean something out of my freezer. Hello, Doom Sturgeon. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. We're gonna start this off, and it's gonna be approximately 8 ounces of ground pork and approximately 8 ounces of ground beef, because I had these 2 roughly 1 pound packs that I used half of at some point. Okay, so we're gonna finish up and make it out of that. I know the little meatballs are the best, aren't they? They're my favorite. Just love those things in the soup. So that's what we're gonna start with, is making those little bitty meatballs. All right, let me get my hands clean here. So normally I like to grind my own meat, but I happen to have this in the freezer, so let's clean out the freezer of the stuff that I don't I need to start cleaning it out because I'm going to have to unplug my second freezer here in a couple of weeks. So we've got that. We're going to put some breadcrumbs in there. And I think because we're already putting some other herbs and stuff, I'm just going to use plain white breadcrumbs. I do have Italian breadcrumbs over here, but I think I'm already going to be putting parsley and oregano and Parmesan and all that stuff in here, so we don't want to overdo it. I am of course, because this is an easy thing to do gluten-free, I'm going to be using gluten-free breadcrumbs because it's mostly that, and the eggs are just a binder for our meatballs. So it's a half a cup. So basically what I have in here is 8 ounces of pork, 8 ounces of beef, half a cup of breadcrumbs. And we are going to do some chopped parsley. This is not the most beautiful looking parsley in the world, but I think it'll be okay for the purposes of this soup. Know that if you're over at my house for dinner, I will have fresh parsley that I will have bought that day to cook with. There's some relatively good that. We want about 1/4 cup of fresh parsley in here. So I'm just gonna look for the best that I got. You're trying to decide what to cook for dinner? What kind of food do you like to make for dinner? I think the hard part for me is I like to try lots of new things. So Robbie may go, that was awesome. And I may not even know what I did.
Right, it might be 6 months before you circle back to it.
Yeah. And can I get that's about 1/4 cup. So we'll do that. And my other knife has stuff all over it, my favorite knife. So we'll use this one. And we'll get that all chopped up. And then it calls for fresh oregano. I didn't buy any because I usually have some, but in the last freeze, my oregano froze out there. So we'll be using some dried oregano. And if you don't know this already, if you're using dried herbs versus the fresh ones, they are more concentrated in flavor. I know it's tempting sometimes to think they're not, but they are. So you want to use about half of what the fresh would be. I need my bench scraper because I am trying to get better at that. So there we go. There's some parsley. Let's see here. You make up a lot of stuff. See, you and I get it. There's a reason why you and I get along then. Open face hamburger sandwiches. Ooh, that sounds good. Smothered in gravy. Twice baked portobellas? I've never done that. Twice baked potatoes I've done, but never twice baked portobellas. That sounds right up Robbie's alley. I like mushrooms in things. I'm not a big, everything needs to taste. He's writing it down. That means I'll probably be making that at some point. Your moms are a lot more flavorful than the store-bought. I always like to use fresh if I can. That's why I grow them in the garden, but now we're in the winter. So I need probably about a teaspoon of these. Let's see here, where is my teaspoon? There it is, a teaspoon of oregano. And of course we need a binder, right? So we need an egg. We're gonna need some Parmesan in there. I love Parmesan. And it's so much fun to put in things. I'm probably gonna need the other one of this, and an egg while I'm in here. So I got an egg. Look how pretty it is. All the little speckles. And salt and pepper, olive oil. Okay, so let's get the egg in there. And I need some Parmesan. You stuff with gold potatoes and balsamic roasted. Okay, see now I'm more on the page. Because then it's not like the mushroom is everything in there. It took me a long time to like mushrooms, frankly. So did you see that? Did you write all that down? You stuff the portobellos with potatoes and balsamic roasted artichokes. Oh, Brussels sprouts. Okay, not artichokes. See, I was more on board with the artichokes, but I do like Brussels sprouts too. Okay. We're gonna put about a half a cup of the Parmesan in here. If you don't have one of these handy dandy things, it's awesome. Oh, you added a stream marker. Okay.
Oh, and that'll be excellent too.
Okay, that would be fabulous, because if I have something to work from, it's more likely gonna come out well. My mom I used to drive my mom nuts, because my mom, and I'll show you sometime when I'm using one of her recipes, she wrote all sorts of notes on hers, and she always, why do I have two peppers? She like followed recipes. She would change them, but then she always used the recipe and followed it. And I'd be like, oh, I've made this a billion times. I'll just wing it. She'd be like, wing it? I said, Mom, you've made this dish like probably 200 times. Do you really still need a recipe if you've made it 200 times? She'd be like, yes. Yes, you exactly remember, right? Like, so even if she was making like a half a recipe, she had to write it down, or a quarter of a recipe. She wrote everything down before she did it. Okay, and I need some olive oil in here. So, or is that going, that's not actually going in the meatballs, I don't think so. That's gonna go in the pan. See, look, I stopped myself before I made a mistake. Okay, I can already smell the potatoes cooking. They smell good. They are smelling good. Okay, so we want to break that egg up. And the only way to make good meatballs is to stick your hand in there. You have a good memory, Pops. It's kind of fun. I go through her recipes every once in a while and find something like, made this on June 10th, 1978. The hardest part here, can you take the Parmesan off of here for now in this bag? Since I've been making meatballs. And then can I have a little plate to put my meatballs on? That way I don't have to wash this behemoth thing before I chop up the rest of the stuff for the soup. Gracias, that'll be fine. And lastly, it's so fun to have a sous chef. Lastly, second drawer down, I'm going to show you which scoop. I'm going to get a little scoop so all my meatballs are the same size. So second drawer down here. And I want this little scoop right there. Gosh, that's still pretty big. Is there a smaller one?
No.
Okay. All right, I guess I'll use that one. Let's turn the oven light on. I want to see what's going on in there. I can smell the pork already in the oven. There was a time where I didn't care whether things were the same size, and then I realized they cook so much better if they're all the same size. So we're gonna make a bunch of little tiny meatballs. Didn't last time we make meatballs we were singing on top of spaghetti all covered with cheese?
I think
that was based or was it just me?
It could have been a stream with Kelsey or something maybe.
You know the song On Top of Old Smoky, right? Did you guys ever in camp? We sang this in camp. On top of spaghetti all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball. when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled right out the door. It rolled in the garden and under some dirt. And then my poor meatball was nothing but, and I can't remember that word. Sorry, I'm gonna have to leave you hanging there. Anybody else? Just me? Just me? Fine, just me.
Are you sure you haven't gotten into the beverages already
I
this
have
evening?
not. It's not even open yet. Should we use the saber to open the Prosecco tonight? Mush! Thank you. Oh, it rolled under a bush. It was nothing but mush. Thank you so much,
Rachel
Joyce.
Angel 10 donated $5. Thank you. Cook Robbie. Lol,
That's
lol, lol.
so awesome because now I can wash my hands. Okay. Robbie, guess what? You get to make some meatballs. Oh, hey, you know what I didn't do?
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. This is awesome.
I should have really been paying attention to what you were doing over here because these look nice.
Yes.
And I feel like we need to mark mine again, but that's just not going to happen with meatballs.
Nope. You can't really mark the meatballs.
All right, so just scooping.
Yes. And it's like a flat scoop. I know I forgot to turn the timer on.
That's fine. The timers aren't important.
Oh, I did it wrong again.
All right, flat scoop.
Uh-huh. And
And
then
you
roll it.
Roll it.
Yep.
It's very squishy.
Timer, let's do that. So when the timer hits 35, that's your 5 minutes. How's he doing? He's doing pretty
Thanks,
good
Rachel.
so far.
Last time I teach you how to use technology. Making me
She
work.
waited for just the right time.
She
Yes,
sure did.
She did. Yes. This is the stuff you give your
'Cause I've
line cooks to do.
had some good practice on the onions and shallots lately. I could have done that earlier, but no, we're on scooping out meatballs.
Oh, we still have celery and
Hey,
onions and
Doom
this.
Sturgeon.
So here's what happens for those
she
of
did
you
fix the camera.
who don't know, is that if you donate bits or donate $5, if you donate 500 bits or $5, then Robbie has to cook for 5 minutes. Wherever I am, I have to step out of the way, and he has to do whatever it is. And
people
he
have been
doesn't
really
pay
good
enough
about
attention to me to
picking-
know what to do.
Yeah, have not. Oh, hey, Fallen Age.
Hey, Fallen Age, how are you doing?
Glad you could make it.
I'm glad you're here.
That one wasn't quite as even. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance for my failure.
They look a little like different sizes from here.
It's the scoop. It must
Oh.
be the scoop.
The scoop changes sizes?
It could not possibly be operator error. There's a reason why I'm the sous chef and not the main even cook. There's stuff all over me.
Fallen Age just got back home.
You're just in time to see me ruin the meatballs. But she made a few.
I made about 5. The ones
So
at the top that
we'll
are
have at
really
least 5
even.
good ones.
Yeah, when you're done rolling them, you're going to need to turn that pan on if there's still time.
The pan. Oh, that pan.
Yeah. I'll turn the pan on for you so you can start cooking.
I don't
meatballs.
know. We might have a while. You might want to wait. It could burn the oil by the time I'm done with this whole bowl.
It's not going to burn the oil. Yeah, I think I'll let you finish all of those.
Yeah. There's a ways to go.
But at 35, you can still be doing that, and I can do the next part of that. But
Has
I'm gonna
anyone
step
else
out of
made
the way.
meatballs out there?
So, if you want to make your own Italian meatball soup. You could go buy some meatballs to put in it. They're usually pretty big though. I even think this is the size they're telling to make it, and I still think they're a little bigger than what you normally find in the soups.
I have not, but maybe Dana will make a note for me.
Oh, do I need to write that down somewhere for you? Dude Foods. Ooh, maybe that can be a thing, like Robbie will cook something from Dude Foods if we hit our goal. Hit one of the goals. No.
I really don't get a say. She does and says whatever, so. I can give my input, but it doesn't necessarily get listened to.
It will be. I always listen. I just think you're wrong.
See, I thought that was my job.
No.
Because you're right. No?
You're trying. All right, we'll come up with a good goal to reach for Robbie to cook something from Dude Foods. And I'll sit over here and try and you'll have to teach me all the buttons to press.
I feel like these hamburgers I'm making are way too tiny. We're going to have to find some very small buns for these tiny hamburgers.
Hey, we're doing sliders on Sunday. So we're going to be on early on Sunday because of Super Bowl. We're going to go on 12 our time instead of 5. So we'll be on about 5 hours earlier. And I'm going to be making Nashville hot sliders.
Which sounds amazing.
Nashville hot chicken sliders. We're going to be doing some Cuban sliders because I've still got pork left over from the tamales, and I think we can tweak that and make a really good Cuban sandwich. And then we're also going to make chili, but I've got little bags of Fritos, so we're going to do chili, but also you have the option of Frito pie because, we're in Texas. You're working during the Super Bowl. That is rough. That is rough. But what about noon? Because we won't be on during the Super Bowl. You can come at noon and watch us make all the yummy food.
Unless you're working
hopefully you
all
can do
day. Then that'd be pretty tough to watch.
What?
He's just got cardboard. It's fine.
Okay. 5:30. Oh, that's rough. A 12-hour shift.
That's a long
Juan, you're working
shift.
all day on the Super Bowl. Are you at least able to drink some tequila while you're doing it?
Hopefully. I was very jealous of that again on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I went back in the Discord and saw your post, and it's like, man.
We'll have to find some of that tequila. Would Total Wine, do you think Total Wine would have it? Thanks, Fajita
have a good nap,
Phantom.
Fajita.
Enjoy your nap. Because if I can find it at Total Wine, maybe I'll pick some up. We have to decide on a drink for the Super Bowl. You can ship us some. Yeah. Total Wine is perfect. Yeah, I'll just go down.
We'll look for it there.
Yeah, we'll look for it there.
They have just about everything.
Yeah, there's certain things you can't find there, but you can find a lot. See, that's not quite, your meatballs are bigger because you're not like flattening out the little thing.
Maybe.
Ooh. We would love to see you, love to meet you, Juan. I'll feed you. Rachel says you are doing a great job. We'll make margaritas and something with some tequila. Unless you have some good tequila drinks, we'll drink. Or is your tequila just good
We'll
sipping
fix
tequila?
We'll fix you whatever you want, really.
Yeah. How about sipping tequila?
She's got a full bar over there.
Yes, and food. Yeah. Did we do a shout out for Dream It?
Yes.
For one?
I didn't push the enter button for a while, but I
Oh, okay.
eventually realized my mistake and
Oh,
I
okay.
did get that done.
All right. Yeah, so I didn't say this, guys. Some of you I know already know Juan, but if you like Pokemon and Pokemon cards, and what else do you do? Do you do just mostly Pokemon cards right now? When Juan is on, watching that, you can buy some, as I understand it.
And now Fallen Age is here to
Yeah,
back me up. So there you go.
I know. We need a backup, just in case she can't be here, so that you have somebody who can do the shout outs, since I don't really know how. So, and sometimes talks about tamales.
Yes. We still have a few from, is that just Sunday?
Yeah, but I would say they're like mostly gone. There's a few more left.
They're pretty good. And what, Juan, you said you had like a 10-month supply or something that you're still working on?
Well, I know, but you know, we're not Hispanic, so we don't make 200 of them at a time.
Yeah, well,
Another 6 months left in the freezer.
you made like 40 or 50?
Yeah,
Somewhere around there?
yeah. So Kelsey had a friend
helper.
and a big family from, the parents were from Mexico. I think most of the kids were born here. And I always had to wait in the car for Kelsey, because if I knocked on the door, she would say, come in, eat. Come eat. And I'd be like, no, I'm not really hungry. No, you
Not
have
a
to eat. You
suggestion.
can't leave until you eat.
Do not insult them.
So there were some days I was like, I'm here. Come outside, because I'm afraid that
I'm too full.
she's going to make me eat like 8 tacos. Super sweet. Really great family. Your answer like that. Look at that, Rachel. You got a bonus 5 minutes on your thing.
And I wasn't even going slow. I was
Yeah,
trying
so.
to get this done.
So what we want to do is, brown food tastes better. So we don't want to just dump these in the soup. And they're wildly different sizes, but that's fine. He did a great job, everybody. Robbie in cooking. So we're going to try and get these just brown on some sides. Look.
Those look identical to me.
They are completely different sizes.
Identical. What was that about hitting
Just
40
eat a
and eating
meal, go
glasses?
say hi to the family, have to eat again. Exactly.
Yep.
I know. And the other thing is that there was a time where I was also a crisis counselor. And so I would go to people's homes, and there was a family like that too. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to eat in people's houses while I'm working. I'm not supposed to do that stuff. But you got to take into considerations is like, do you hurt your relationship with people if you don't eat? So, telenovelas and cooking. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I'm here, Kelsey. Come out to the car. But some days I was hungry. I may not have eaten, and I'll be like, oh, do you need me to pick you up from Sophia's?
My sister seems very happy.
He's done a good job. They're at least round, so I just have to shake them. I don't have to turn them in here, which is great. And thank you for giving me a break. I appreciate it. This is a lot of meatballs. I tried.
You did try. You definitely gave it a try.
So we definitely don't want greasy meatballs in our soup. So we're gonna put those on paper towels as we take them out of here.
Okay.
They smell so good.
It's sounds good, looks good. People might actually get to see this if I move the camera. But it's fine, there's a whole bunch to cook. Oh goodness.
I mean, it's really, I could do this too. I could say, look at those meatballs. We'll go back to Robbie because this is, you know, riveting television. I gotta be careful because I keep pulling that off there.
Yeah, I had to retighten that today because it was about to fall down. It's just your camera, your phone, whatever. No big deal if that falls on the floor and smashes and cracks. And
Got to spend $1,000 to get another one.
a
No
dog
big
runs
deal.
through here thinking it's food and chomps down on it.
You have a very strange imagination.
That's not the first time I've been told that.
Okay,
Almost done.
these meatballs look pretty good. We're gonna take them out. Nice and brown. And pretty evenly brown too, which is good. Not always the case. And we don't have to worry too much that the inside cooks because that's gonna cook while it's in the soup.
You're stealing my meatballs again.
I'm not stealing them, I'm cooking them. We'll get those all covered in some olive oil. So that's all I put in here is I put a little olive oil in here. I am using a non-stick pan on purpose for this so that it is easier to cook these and get them out and they're not sticking to the pan. So yeah, and then when he's done, I will start chopping up veggies for our soup.
Last
It's gonna
one.
be, the veggies in this soup are carrots, onions, celery, and spinach. And the other thing, while Robbie is still doing that,
So you're done with the bowl?
I am done with the bowl, is we'll be using orzo. I know this orzo looks a little strange. It's because it's gluten-free orzo. Typically in the Italian wedding soups, you're more likely to see acini di pepe, which is a round pasta, the little bitty like pearl pasta. I could not find that with gluten or without gluten today. So I decided let's go with gluten-free. And this is made with rice and corn. So it's funny that it's made with rice because it kind of looks like the shape of rice, but it's rice and corn ground together and then made into the orzo shape. So that's what we'll be using as our pasta today. Because then I can eat it. As much of it as I want. And I'm not gluten-free, so you will see me cook with gluten. You will see me make desserts and stuff with gluten. I just try to, if I can take it out without making a big difference in the taste, texture, or flavor. Wait a minute, taste and flavor are the same thing. Taste and flavor and texture, then I will. And I'm still learning. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, that didn't work well with the gluten-free stuff. I'm still looking for a good gluten-free biscuit recipe because I didn't like the biscuits that we did. I didn't like them that much that we made the other day. They were okay, but they didn't really scratch the biscuit itch. You know what I mean? It's like Pops if you're a vegetarian or you're trying to eat a more plant-based diet and you get something that's supposed to taste like, I don't know, bacon or something, but it doesn't really. And then,
Then you just leaves you wanting the real thing.
yes. I'd rather have a little bit of the thing I really want, pay for it later, than have something that's completely unsatisfying that makes me still want to have it, and I probably will. All right, let's get that batch out. How do you guys feel about those kind of substitute things? Because that's my take. But I never actually understood like people who are vegetarians but want to eat bacon. That never made sense to me.
It just smells so good. Too tempting.
All right. Last batch. And I think this pan started to get a little too hot. We'll turn it down. All right. While that's going, I need an onion as well, and I need garlic. Ah, the garlic was not in vain. Wait, that's an onion. I could use that one. This one's not so round, Robbie. It won't roll. What happened?
No, it was perfectly round until you just threw it carelessly into the pan.
I see. It's my fault.
It got smushed.
Uh-huh.
Or mushed.
It's mush. It rolled in the garden and under a bush. And then my poor meatball was nothing but mush.
That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was not me.
I don't recall sneezing.
I'll check the tape tomorrow.
You're gonna check the tape?
Yeah.
I mean, I sneeze all the time. I just haven't during this stream. That I know of. There's a dog. Oh, there's two. Aw. Look, everybody. Bonus puppy cam.
Rocky.
Oh.
Well,
What you did.
I was hoping he was just going to look up. My bad.
He knows who's calling him. Robbie doesn't like my camera skills over here. Robbie.
Dana.
Those are looking good. All right. Carrots. What do they do with my peeler? I stuck it in the sink. And how much do I need? I need about 1 1/4 cups. We're getting there, everyone. All right, I'm gonna turn this off and get these over here into our bowl, our big bowl of meatballs. The first ones are very round, and these meatballs are the shape they usually turn to when I cook meatballs. Which is not quite round. All right. Woo! There we go. I'm gonna get that out of the way. And we'll start getting some stuff for our soup. I mean, the meatballs are for the soup, right? And we need 1.5 cups of diced carrots. I'm gonna eyeball this sort of, but have a measuring cup just to get me my cup-ish of carrots. Let's get carrot stuff and put it into the bowl. Over here. Have you noticed I've started singing a lot more
You have.
during the stream? And because it's soup, I probably want to do something that's a little bit smaller than I would, like if I'm just cooking something in a mirepoix. Although I think we're softening these in some oil before we do this. Brainy. Okay, yeah. So at least they'll be softening up a little bit before I put them in the soup. So we're gonna want a little olive oil in here too. Let's see here. You're done cleaning. Doesn't it feel good to have all of that done?
And that means it's time for ice cream, right?
That's all Robbie wants. He wants to make sure you get your ice cream, or your daughter gets her ice cream. Look at that big piece of carrot there. So maybe we may need a little bit more carrot than this, but we'll see. So there is a technique in cutting that I am not very good at yet. When you're making things like soups and sauces and you want your, it's not a dice, it's not a, it's a very small dice. It's called a brunoise. Now see, I'm blanking on it. It's B-R-U-N-O-I-S-E, I think. And that's when you see those teeny tiny dices with things. It's kind of like what I do with jalapenos, because I don't like to have big chunks of jalapenos, so I dice them super, super tiny. I know I keep moving all over the cutting board, don't I? I gotta make sure you got something to do, Robbie. You've been working on ranjiri. So what is that? I am not familiar with that. Oh, we don't want that in our soup. So almost have a cup here. Let's see if this will give me a little more than a cup. If not, I'm gonna have to cut more carrot. What's up, Robbie?
Cut at an angle and rotate 90 degrees.
Oh, cutting at an angle and rotate 90 degrees. Okay, interesting. I'll have to check that out. So you cut at a 90 degree and then you rotate. What kinds of things do you use that for? Because now I'm cutting these smaller. This is what happens in a cooler shape. Well, of course. Oh, carrots in a curry. Oh, interesting. I'll take a look at that. What I want to do is San Antonio's, the Culinary Institute of America has boot camps. Like I can't go to chef school, although Robbie's convinced I probably will. School to be a chef. But they have these week-long boot camps that I think sound super interesting to me. So I may do a couple of those at some point. And so I can learn different cutting techniques, and I can get a little bit better about making my cuts a little more even. I can do it if I spend a lot of time doing it, but usually when I'm cooking here for us here on the stream, I'm talking, and so my concentration isn't completely on the food, if you know what I mean. Okay, that carrot made like 1 cup perfectly, but I need a cup and a quarter. So we will take, Dana, can't get a carrot out of the bag. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is still on. We're gonna pull that off of there so we don't burn anything and turn it off until I'm ready. How's that?
we need the fire extinguisher?
No. I just was like, why is that hot? I didn't realize I had turned it on. But maybe I never turned it off from the meatballs. One of Dana's things that she's not very good at the kitchen is remember to turn things off.
Or turn them on?
I've done that before, yes. And then we've got onions and celery to do. Hopefully those won't take quite as long. Because our potato thing is gonna be done soon. There are carrots everywhere. No floor carrots yet though. That's handy.
Just 4 potatoes so far?
Just floor potatoes. I try very hard not to have floor blah 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 onions because dogs. Right, okay. I need, for this, I need 3/4 of a cup of diced celery. Oh my goodness, okay.
Kelsey is officially boosted.
She is! Yay! I'll call you tomorrow and see how you're feeling. Let's rinse that off. It's celery. You don't want celery. And you're back. Look at those angles. Angles of the cuts or the angles of the camera. You missed it. Robbie had to cook. He had to make meatballs. He made meatballs and more meatballs. Oh, the camera. Yes. I've got a thing to put my phone on now so that it's here and I can move it. So if I want to be over on the stove or I can be right here. That's something I think is kind of funny because you see a lot of actually food and drink streamers talking about that during their stream. You don't really see that on television. Look at my cool camera angles. Look at my cool equipment.
Well, on TV, they just have to worry about cooking. They got other people for that.
That's true.
A lot of the food and drink streamers, it's just that one person a lot of the time. That's a lot
Sometimes.
of work.
Yep.
You sure did, Rachel. You sure did.
He had to make the meatballs. So if the meatballs are uneven in our soup, you cannot blame me. I mean, you can, but it wouldn't make sense because I didn't make them.
She made 5 of them.
And they were all perfect.
Well, I wasn't going to say that part.
Well, of course you weren't. All right, I think that's probably about a cup of those. And now an onion. And then I will put the pot on the heat with the olive oil and we'll put our mirepoix in there. And am I supposed to put the garlic in there too? Let's see, heat and tamban, and we're going to put carrots, celery, and saute, and then add the garlic. Okay. So there we go. We do still have cooking to do. Uh-oh.
Popscockles cheered. X500. Robbie cuts onions.
Excellent. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Pops. They have to be diced.
They're going to get cut.
They need to be diced.
Thank you.
Good. I won't have onion smelling hands. That's awesome.
At least it's not peppers. That's So dice. So I'm doing the cutty thing. And
Yes.
then the thing.
And then
Do I have to do layers and then that? Wait.
I don't think for the soup. I think we'll be okay. The other one.
What's this?
It's the inside of your onion there.
Well, he tried to run away.
He's like, Robbie's coming. Ah! Oh, look, you can't see his head. Shall we do this? He and I are vastly different heights. You're here to help. I appreciate that, Pops.
I don't believe you.
And he doesn't have a cocktail yet.
That's okay. This way I won't totally ruin this.
You got some cool music. You gonna dance
I sure do.
while you do
so,
this?
So just I don't have to do that. Just,
No.
Okay.
Because you would want to do that first before you would slice the. Look at that! Look at that dice, everyone. That's pretty dang good. I think he gets to also probably get the garlic done too. But we'll get this stuff started in the pot first. You don't have to do that. Oh, and the crowd cheers. Whoa!
Or just Dana, but that's fine too. I know this is right here, but oh well. Oh, skin?
That would be good. I don't want skin in the soup.
So apparently you're supposed to take this off, guys. That's Robbie's tip of the day.
Tip of the day. Yes, now remember, your mom says, now remember how Anne Burrell cuts onions.
Oh, well, it's like
Yes,
that.
you're doing it right.
It's
Oh.
so funny. When I left, Rafi said he's not cooking tonight.
Yeah.
This
That
is his
didn't-
second time.
That didn't work out for me.
Funny thing, though.
Third time we're gonna make the dogs do it.
No, we're not.
Come on, that'd be funny.
You
I
can
mean,
throw me on, but I'm not good at it. And also,
Robbie's
I look
learning.
terrible right now.
Well,
Just went on an hour and 15 minutes outside.
if you missed Robbie's first attempt at cooking, he couldn't figure out how to close the food processor.
Glad there's not a highlight of that on the internet.
Or is there? Is there? Okay, garlic.
Wait,
No,
there's more?
actually, you know what? Let's put the pot back on the burner and put a little bit more olive oil in there and heat it up. Nope. Oh yeah, you can use that. That's fine. That's fine. And then turn the heat on, and then you're going to get the carrots.
High, medium, medium high?
Oh gosh, medium to
Medium.
medium low.
Okay.
And then do the all of the veggies go in there.
All this in there.
All of that in there.
So start with the carrots.
Sounds good.
And then just all this, huh?
All of that. And I can start to hear it sizzling in there. And look, you had no floor onions.
Well, you said it was very important to not do that.
It is very important to do that.
Is that good enough? Did I get enough of it in there? Uh-oh, I see a floor onion.
Uh-oh, floor onion. Can't have a floor onion.
Oh, it turned into 2 floor onions.
Uh-oh. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to the doggy emergency
I got it.
room tonight.
I was faster than the dogs.
Okay, so now we need 4 cloves of garlic. Garlic is right on the cutting
Oh.
board. Can you
Hey, look,
stir
it was
the-
right in front of me.
Can you stir that? We don't want it to burn.
Stirred.
Okay, get the garlic done and then you're done. Except to make us a drink. But
That's 2, 3. We'll call that 4. I don't know. Some of those are kind of small.
You want some bigger cloves, or are you good?
I think we'll be okay. But what do I know? Yeah, that might need some stirring. Thank you, sous chef.
You're welcome.
It's appreciated.
Now that I'm looking at these onions.
What do you think? Is that enough?
Huh? Yeah, that'll be fine.
Get that in camera view.
Yeah, let's see here. I don't know if I would call this a diced onion right there.
Well, I don't know what you're expecting from tech guy. Am I mincing this? What was I doing with this?
Yeah, mince it. I like your mincing technique. Okay, that's better. Thank you, Pops. This has been awesome. No
Thank you,
garlic
Pops.
on my hands. No onion on
Good
my
enough?
hands.
Small enough?
What are you doing? Look at this mess. Anne would be
I
very
am a
disappointed.
professional.
Really? Because look, there's onion and carrot on there. And
Well,
garlic
it's
paper.
just going to join as friends.
No, it can't. No.
No?
Oh my.
Oh, there's some big chunks on the side of this. Hang on. Clear the board. We're chopping again.
He's learning.
I'm just imagining that everyone at home is saying, excellent work. and this is
Yeah,
very
but
sticky.
I want this to be a little bit smaller because it's going in a soup. We don't want to get like a big chunk of garlic in our mouth. Or at least I don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you're trying to keep more vampires away than me.
It's a problem. That looks fantastic.
So there we go. That's a little better.
I think that's been 5 minutes, right? Yes,
It
that had
has.
to be.
Yeah, just get
'cause
that in the pot. I'm gonna test this timer. You may turn off. I only think those potatoes need more butter.
No, she wouldn't be disappointed. You were doing a good job, Robbie. Well, thank you, Rachel. All right, they got stirred again. I'm gonna go sit down
Okay, you go sit down.
before I find more stuff to do.
Okay, I'm just, I'm putting a little bit more butter on the potatoes in the oven that you can't see me doing, but I'm gonna let them cook for a little bit longer. They don't seem to be quite cooked all the way through. Meanwhile,
You're way down there on the camera now. My goodness.
all right, now we're gonna do some chicken broth. And I'm going to do about 64 ounces of chicken broth in here. I think the recipe has like 72 ounces. I think this will be plenty. All right, that's one. That's 30, well, not one, it's 32. We've been using a lot of chicken stock lately. I bought a great big gigantic box of boxes of chicken stock today. We're getting there. We're gonna let this simmer once we get all the pieces in it.
We might have soup yet.
Yes. Then we want to put in our arancini, and I want to see how much, because I didn't measure this. I just grabbed, we need a cup. And this is definitely more than a cup. All right. This is a quarter of a cup, so we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn this up a little bit because we need that arancini to cook because it is not cooked. So it's going to start to absorb some of the broth. If it takes up too much of the broth, I can always add more in. We have not chopped our spinach yet. So we need about 6 ounces of this. And this amount, as I dropped it on the floor, says I'm hiding because Dana put the tag right over how much this is. It didn't say. But let me rinse it out real quick first. Probably should have been one of the first things I did. And I'm gonna dump a bunch of stuff out of here. I need to organize my cabinets. So we'll take our spinach that has been like, I've never seen it chopped that close. And some of this is not very good. So we'll be picky about this like we were with the Parmesan or the parsley. And where did we put the knife? Where's the knife, Robbie?
You lost the knife?
Oh, there it is. Nope, it's over here.
Well, you found it.
I did. So I'm going to chop this part off and then stick it into and rinse it off to make sure we don't have any dirt, because that would be gross. Oh, you can tell it's getting late because Dana is, you can tell it's getting Dana because late is dancing around the kitchen.
It's dark outside now.
Yep. All right, and I'm gonna dry this out a little bit because I still need to chop it up. I have no idea if this is 6 ounces of spinach. It looks close enough to me. I can smell the garlic in the broth. Can you smell it? Can you guys smell it? It smells very good in here. I don't want these stems. They tend to get tough. Or they are tough. So since we've got to go through here anyway and double check and make sure all these leaves are in decent condition, we'll chop off all of those. It's funny because I don't really mind the stems in a salad, but if I've got wilted spinach or anything like that, I don't really like the stems in it. So after this, we'll chop it up and stick it in our soup as well. Oh, it wants me to add the meatballs in. So hang on one second. We're gonna bring this to bring it up. I'm gonna stick the meatballs in here, and then we'll add the spinach in as soon as we're done with it. You can't even see those meatballs. Let's put them someplace you can see them. And as soon as I get this going and all of this, Robbie's gonna make us a drink. Right? You're gonna make me a drink, right?
I think that's the plan.
All right, almost done, almost done. What does it say? Meatballs, boil, reduce heat, cover and cook. Okay, so we want to add the spinach in actually just a couple of minutes before we eat it. So says the recipe.
Because it just won't take long to cook.
Correct. And that way it'll stay a little fresh. It won't lose all its vitamins. Rachel, would you try this soup if you were here?
And you have to answer. Because you made me cook.
I won't add any spinach into the into your soup bowl. But I will, Joyce. I'll add it. So Robbie,
Dana.
so while this is cooking, and while I chop up some spinach, how about if you make us a drink?
How about it?
Doesn't that sound, are you guys thirsty? Don't you want a drink?
Kelsey's excited.
All right, drink time.
Yet another drink I've never made before, so we'll see how this goes.
Do you need lemon for that,
I
or?
think it said lime,
Lime?
actually. It's
Okay.
on the screen now if you want to.
Well, I'm chopping spinach, so I
Oh.
can't look. But I
Yeah,
will.
I didn't really prep
You didn't prep anything today?
anything.
I usually do all the prepping.
I think subconsciously I knew that I was going to be cooking first. And so this was going to be very secondary.
You just knew it. Now, what kind of cup are you going to use for this?
I have no idea. Rachel says she would drink the broth. I saw both. I'm like, what other drink are we having?
All right, I'll tell you what I have here for you. I have some Prosecco.
I do need Prosecco.
You need lemon juice.
Am I not shaking this? Surely I'm shaking this. I'm not shaking it because it's Prosecco.
No, because it's Prosecco.
So I don't need this or this.
It's got a lime slice. You need to get the elderflower liqueur out.
Any guesses on where that is in here?
Most likely it's on the other side. And then we need
We need a
mint.
bar cam.
I'm pretty sure I have mint in here. Yes, I do.
There it is, the St. Elder.
Yeah, it's not elderflower. It's not. Yeah, there we go. And there's your mint.
So we think that's everything? Yes, yes, I figured you meant the broth from the soup and not the beverage I'm about to bake in some sort of glass, I guess.
What do you think would be a good glass for this? Don't use my spinach.
Don't use your spinach for the
Don't
drink?
use my spinach. I'm going to put some things out of the way here.
Okay, yes.
For Prosecco?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, what kind do you think? Guys have an idea? I think that's a more appropriate glass, yeah.
No, we'll do ice later. So like 1 mint leaf, 2 mint leaves. I'm very tall again.
Sprig of mint. There you go, that's a sprig. So I think you have to muddle it, don't you?
Yes,
So that you would do in the thing over there, or you could do it in the glass.
carefully. I found the
Let's put
muddler.
some prettier mint than that.
The mint wasn't pretty enough.
No.
Hello from Spain.
Hello, Don Danolo. Welcome in.
Thanks for being here.
And we love that you are here from Spain, even though we're making Italian food tonight. Ish. Italian-ish food.
Currently making our beverage for the evening while we wait for the soup to cook.
Who wants to see him saber the Prosecco open? Anybody?
I don't know how well they're gonna see that if it's so dark outside.
Turn lights on. I don't know. Okay, we'll just open it this way. Oh yeah, heck yeah. I'm sorry, Kelsey said heck yeah.
Kelsey,
The kids are trouble, aren't they?
my sister certainly has been. Yeah, where'd my recipe go? Tablespoon.
A tablespoon of elderflower
What is
liquor.
that in these?
Anybody know that off the top of their head? I don't. Here's a tablespoon. How's that?
Okay, we'll just go ahead and use that then. It's more just that it's dark and whatnot and cameras and wait, I almost used the wrong thing again. See, and I'm just tired because I've been up for 14 hours already.
And you had to cook twice. I mean, oh my gosh. So, if you've never seen it before, I'll try not
Whoa.
to poke Robbie.
Yeah, what's
This is a champagne saber, and so you open the glass. Open the bottle with this.
model that a little bit more now.
Okay. Smells good.
All right, so I'm savoring
Napoleon
that,
style. Apparently, that's what Kelsey says. So we'll need to switch to the other camera. And I will carry the camera. How can she, really, Rachel? Okay, we're gonna go outside because you don't
Oh,
saber
what'd you do?
inside.
Check the screen.
Uh-oh, what did I do?
You disconnected it. Hang on.
I'm
I'll turn that
getting
back
it.
on until you get
There
it.
it is.
You got it?
I think so. Yes?
I was just making sure before we
Yeah.
go outside.
Okay, all right. Are you sure you want to use that when you're so tired, says your mother?
What could go wrong? Oh, there's a dog out here. That's exciting.
Ooh. All right, there you go. All right, so we're gonna go saber this bottle open. And we're gonna follow Robbie. Look, he has to do so much work tonight. Poor thing. And here we are. Dun,
Am I in the light?
dun,
We're
dun.
good? I'm in
Yes,
the
you're
light?
good. You got to do it like you mean it. Try again.
That's not embarrassing.
There we go. That's how you saber a bottle like you mean it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da. I'll carry this in and then I'll go get the cork.
I'll get the cork. You-
No, because you're
you-
making a drink.
Oh, or that. That was loud. Fun.
So we couldn't see if you were saying anything, needed anything. What did you just see? You saw us sabering a bottle open using a sword. And there we go.
I'll switch the camera back.
Okay, I'll leave it on the bottle. So basically when you saber, it takes the lip of the bottle and it pops that whole part of the bottle off. So there you go.
It's the very fancy way to do this instead of just, maneuvering the cork out of there.
Exactly. All right, you need to finish making our drinks. I'm gonna go get the cork. Do you know where it is?
I don't think she saw where the cork went.
I saw it.
But that's okay.
See.
There we go. Get my recipe up there again. Now that we have this open, a cup of Prosecco. That seems like a lot. Sorry. It's a cup of Prosecco?
you can eyeball that, I think. So here, by the way, is what the top looks like after you savor a bottle. There must be a little piece out there somewhere.
Yeah, I thought I saw something shard off. I'll have to go look for that.
He's so precise when he makes these. Is porchetta common in the U.S.? You can usually find it at the deli, at the grocery store. You can make your own. So, yeah. But I don't know that all, I mean, around here, I've got a couple of grocery stores I go to, and you can't see me. Hello. That I get it at. I think as people are cooking more with more authentic ingredients and stuff, you're seeing things like porchetta and stuff more often.
Half a lime slice. Do we just put that in the drink?
I guess. Would you like
Or
me to slice the
Prosecco
lime
and
for
the sparkling water. We need sparkling water still.
you? Oh, that's in the refrigerator in the garage. So do you want to slice the lime or go get the sparkling?
I'll slice a lime.
There you go.
Why not?
Then I will go get some sparkling water.
Ta-da!
Are you talking or are you just making the drink?
I'm making noises with the lime of squeezing this fresh lime juice in here
Okay.
while we're waiting for the other bubbles. And
So
then I
we're
need-
using something, this is like a brand, it's
1 to 2
not Topo Chico, but it's very much like Topo Chico. He's very,
Would
very
you like
precise.
1 or 2? Because it says 1 or 2.
2.
You're just gonna.
Porchetta's common up there, up in Minnesota, Aladdin's Girl.
All right, I think the
You're
beverage
from
is
Italy.
ready.
Yeah, so there we go. Let's give it a try. Cheers. That's nice. I like that.
Totally worth all that effort.
I think you could even put that on ice. Like if it's hot outside, it would be fine on ice. It'd be hard to muddle in a champagne flute though, which is why I think this is probably a better glass for it. Oh yes, we have to, oh, did you squeeze these instead of slice them?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's fine.
that's Robbie's take on that. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if the pasta is done in here. Here, I'll use that one.
How is it? How's it doing?
It's good. It needs more salt, though. Definitely needs more salt. Robbie's like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, yes, it does.
I mean, you're the boss.
And then I think, yeah, then we're going to put the spinach in here. And let that cook for a couple of minutes. Not the little piece. I'm gonna get, while that's cooking, I'm gonna get the potato cake out of the oven. And we're gonna see how I did. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna come out. There was a little smoke, but there we go. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna let it set for a second, and then I'm gonna try and take it out and put it on a plate. You know, because that's the way you gotta present it, right? Is on a plate and all beautiful. There's so much stuff over here. Robbie got out a lot of stuff. Does it? You didn't even use any bar tools except the muddler.
shows poorly on this recipe. Very different type of.
Okay, well, you typed them in. You even sat there and typed them into the computer.
It's been a long day.
All right, I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna turn this down. And then we're gonna try and put that potato cake on the cutting board.
Which one's mine?
This one. Because, ooh, cooties. Be terrible. We don't want cooties, do we?
Mine had less of the water.
Cover, go through. Okay. Just making sure I got everything. Because those of you who've been here know that I miss stuff sometimes. And I go, dang it, I forgot that. So I'm trying to be a little bit better about that. I'm trying to follow my own advice and read the recipes a couple of days before I need to cook them, if I've never done it before. All right, Dana's going to attempt to put the bend where I want, bend to my will. It's tough because I'm not consistent on which side I put the camera of the phone on. And then, da-da. I wish I had a professor who would do that. My professors just wanted me to write like 60-page papers. All right. Let's see how this goes. Some of it is sticking to my thing. So I'm gonna get a knife. And like I said, these two things don't really go together.
Yummy!
Thank you, Brittany.
Thanks,
Thank
Brittany.
you. There we go.
Thanks for hanging in there, by the way.
I know. And there we go. Look at that. Some porchetta that's nice and crispy on the top. We need a picture. Ooh, that porchetta's good. It's spicy porchetta. How is it? I think this is gonna need more salt too, by the way. And I want you to see, you guys can't see from that direction, so I'm gonna take this off of here for a second, because I want you to see these like layers. Do you see all those fun layers in there? Is that focused, or do I need
If
to
you
pull
tap
it?
on the screen, it will. There you go.
Okay. See all the layers? Look at that. Woo! I'm trying to watch that instead of this. This would be easier. Layers. So that looks good. It looks good. Hopefully it tastes good too. All right. I'll put this camera back up here. Hopefully none of you are getting seasick.
I changed it to the small one. while you
Okay.
did that.
Ah, it's so good to have a camera person who's watching all that stuff. There we go. And then we're gonna make a bowl of soup. How fun is that? And then I know my youngest will be down here eating up some yummies. All right.
Hey, Fallen Age, have you heard if they're working on a fix after all this time for the follower emotes not working on phones? Just random tech question while we wait on Dana.
We're always waiting on Dana. Dang it.
'Cause
What's
I
up
can do
with
them
that?
from Dana's computer.
Here we go. And of course, you cannot have any Italian food without, where did my Parmesan cheese go? There it is. Without putting more Parmesan cheese on it. Make it snow. Woo! Oh, you guys couldn't even see that. And I was having so much fun. All right, you ready?
So ready.
Did you get a picture?
Of the soup?
Yes.
No.
He's too busy doing his other 10 jobs.
At least.
Probably should hire help.
Is that an option?
I pay in food. That's it. Pay in food. All right, I'm gonna taste this. I want to taste
But it's
these
really good food.
meatballs that still have a little bit of that crunch from the crust on it, which is awesome.
So I might be able to eat this in like 2 minutes when it cools down. It
That's
smells
good.
good.
You'll do it? Come on over. What do you think? I think it still probably needs a little salt, but maybe if I put enough cheese on it, it'll be fine. I remember if you're making a soup like this where you've got the pasta going in it, you're going to want to put more liquid in it than you did for the soup. Like if you want to be able to feed 4 people, you're going to need to put extra in there because the pasta's going to absorb a lot of that liquid. So always have a little extra on hand in case you need to add some of that. So yes, join the Discord. Join the Discord. I'm going to post these pictures and we're still got to, here, can I have your phone? I want to take a picture of the potato cake too. And then we'll eat some.
I don't know how you ate that. That's like boiling hot.
What happened?
Oh. What'd you do?
Oh, what did I do?
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
And if you'd like to follow her on the Facebook or the Instagrams or even YouTube, I believe that works. There we go.
Yeah, so I'm on a lot of places. I'll say Twitter is probably the place I post the least. I post on Instagram and YouTube the most. So if you want to know what's coming up that night that I'm cooking, I put it there. But it's also here on the Twitch page as well when I'm cooking. On Sunday, I'm going to grab forks. On Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I'm excited because it's all the stuff that's really bad for you.
I just hear yummy.
There's hot Nashville chicken sliders. There's going to be Cuban sliders. There's going to be chili, but we're also going to have all the stuff so you can make Frito pie with it and some sort of fabulous drink that Robbie's going to come up with for that. And
Wait,
so I am excited about that food because I don't cook it as often anymore because, you know, we try to be a little healthier as we're getting into our not so young ages, which is not fun. It's not fun to be there. So, all right, I'm going to get a piece of this so that we can try it. Yep, see, it's falling apart. It looked really pretty, though, when it came out of the oven. But we'll do that. And then I've got a fork.
I'm glad you took pictures and I took pictures before you just manhandled it.
I know. Those crispy top ones. Pretty good. Okay, here's what I would do
So it doesn't
differently.
just look good, it tastes good.
No, it's got really good flavor. What I would do with this is I'd cut the onions up, maybe halve them so that you don't have these long pieces of onion. But it's a first world problem, right? A little more salt. But other than that, I really like it. I think it is the right amount of meat. It's like the meat that's flavoring it but you're not eating tons of meat. And we have meatballs, so what's up? Well, there we go. There's our food. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you guys on Sunday at some point. Don't remember that we're don't forget, we're gonna start at 12 Central Time. So that's 5 hours earlier than we normally start. Just so that anybody who is watching the Super Bowl, which includes us, will not have to, choose. Because I know you'd choose me over the Super Bowl.
Sure, Dana.
So I'm gonna feed the family here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Is there anybody on that we're gonna go to? We're gonna go to Culinary Rewind. Oh, I love her. She is so adorable. Very retro. You're gonna see those retro dishes from the 50s, and she only uses the ingredients that would have been available to housewives in the 50s to cook. And also, if you need a new apron, she has fabulous aprons she makes. She's funny. She is super funny. So yeah, let's go rate her and say woohoo. And thank you guys again. It's always an honor for you guys to be here. I always appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And I will see you next time. Good night. Have a great night or day if you're in Australia or Spain.